don't do music. No. Uh, Didn't we already do this? What the shit? I guess we're live. Huh. I guess we're live. And if we're not, I'm gonna be pissed. Oh man, I wish it had said something. Okay, we are live at a minute already. Holy crap. Well, my bad. Shit, I'm sorry. Um, well, hey everyone, and welcome to At the Blind Spot. I'm your hostess with the grossest. Oh man. Uh, Welcome and happy Sunday. I hope everybody had a pretty decent Saturday and incredible week. Kept out of trouble and got ready for today. The day to kind of relax and recuperate from last week, and starting this week off with a great and excellent enthusiasm. So I told myself that when I was going to do this at the blind spot treehouse kind of deal, that I wouldn't have an outline and a routine because everybody has a routine every day, and you wake up in the morning, you get ready, you go to work, or you do whatever you got to do that day, and then you come home, you do the same things pretty much, except for maybe it's trash day or you got something different in the mail, another different bill to pay, but that's even a routine in itself. So hopefully, if I can do this successfully, I believe that I can add something new, and that's way I don't want to have a routine with this. I had an out I had an outline of what I was gonna do, like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then finish it off with a bang, bang bang. But I decided, this is I'll keep a reference of what I want to talk about. That way I don't miss a good point I was wanting to bring forward. And then, anyways, I'm rambling on here, so let's get to it. All right. Um, that was supposed to lead into something else, but I know I get rambling, and then it might get boring. I don't know, and I don't want to be boring. Not for my peeps, my blindies, and my family and friends coming over here from Facebook. Holla, woo woo. Right on. I hope I'm able to do this and inspire. Maybe open up, and if I can inspire you to be positive or to get out of your funk, maybe I can open up a thought that might stay in there and something you can think about. And maybe that will transform into something positive. Who knows? I give it a shot. And I don't want to be that dude on the stage. You know, boo, boo, you suck. So I just keep it entertaining and not try to go too far because I can do that. I know. I don't mean to be rude or disrespectful to anyone. It's just I think I'm being funny. Maybe I'm not to some people. So that's fine. That's fine. I'll apologize ahead of time every show. I'm sorry if I pissed you off or made you feel like I was a bad person to you. That no, I don't mean to be that way, and I would never do that on purpose. So, but maybe you took it the wrong way from what I was trying to be. It's possible. We all have a different roughness to ourselves. And anyways, so at the blind spot, here we are, and I have a couple of good things to bring up. Um, let's start out with some spirituality for a minute. I know it's Sunday and that's routine, right? Some people may have just gotten out of church or whatever, and some people may not go to church. It doesn't bother me. I don't care either way. Just don't try to throw your stuff down other people's throats. But when it comes to spirituality, right? It's not supposed to be you know I don't think spirituality, right? God, whatever you want to call it, was not supposed to be put in a box. And I think religious places, you know, kind of do that. We got to follow this book, you got to follow that thing, you got to do this, you got that. You can't do this, you can't do that. Are you going to go to a bad place? And that to me, that seems like a man-made way of control. You can't love God unless you let it control you. Well, that doesn't sound like free will to me, you know. So, the way I could maybe open up in a medium way, in a neutral place, is for someone who is religious, devout person, and someone who maybe just like I don't know. It's possible, but I'm not big into like searching for it, right? We've all been there in the beginning. So uh, the way I kind of put myself in a neutral area where I like to stay when it comes to spirituality is imagine yourself in a boat. I know last week I did the desert thing about the atheist thing, but uh, you put yourself in a boat in the middle of the ocean, and all you have is a paddle in a boat, you know, and you're there by yourself, right? And um, the sea you're on is pretty much calm most of the time, and your objective is to find spirituality, right? Or understand it, or even give a crap, right? So if you don't move, you don't go anywhere. If you don't paddle, you don't go anywhere. The ocean tosses you around however it wants to, and you don't care because the boat's safe. And then one day maybe the boat will flip over and you'll drown. But that's what happens to everybody, so it's not a big deal, right? So you're in the boat and you got to paddle, and every time, if you decide to, every time you paddle forward in any direction, your paddle gets a little bit bigger. Maybe not by a whole bunch, maybe not even noticeable for a little bit, but you don't even notice it's growing, you know, maybe like a millimeter per stroke. That's less than a centimeter, so it's finite. And then after maybe about a mile or so, you're like, wait a minute, I got an inch longer, or maybe 2 inches longer, depending on how fast you paddle, right? And but you got to once you understand how it works, right? You got okay. Well, if I work hard to try to understand this ocean, right, my paddle gets a little longer, so I'm gonna take a break. Just enjoy the calming of the ocean. Just sit here for a minute and relax and get my energy back, and maybe I'll go another mile somewhere else. See where I can go. That's what spirituality is. It's always a go. It's always how much you put into it. It's how much you're willing to understand and see the growth in your paddle or yourself, however you want to put it, right? So, or you could just lay back and let the ocean kick your butt, right? And when that's all finished, and you get to the end, right? And your paddle's at a ridiculously long level. You realize, oh man, this is it. And then you reach a destination which you didn't know existed, and it's there, and you're like, wow, okay, so what is this? And there's nobody around to ask. You just kind of have to make it up as you go. You know, and maybe the the destination, wherever it is, like an island. They say it's an island or something. I don't know. It can talk. It talks to you. It tells you, this is why you were in the ocean in the first place. And blah 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 blah. Here's the answers you were looking for. Okay, now uh, get back in your boat and you know go on and meet with the other people. That were uh, before you got into the boat or whatever along your way. What I don't know how. I'm done using this metaphor because I think it's got a flat tire now. But I think you might understand what I'm talking about. And when it comes to religion, it you can learn read all the books. You can read you can go to churches and you can go to and listen to somebody explain to you what those books mean. And you're like, okay. So then when I'm done reading the book and I've gone to every church in the whole world and listened to every preacher or whoever, uh, every monk, every whatever, and they've all explained to me, everything about their religion. What now? Well, now you worship and just wait to die. Well, that sounds like a dead end to me. And I don't think spirituality is supposed to be a dead end. Not at all. It's a never-ending exploration. But it's not a book. It's not a religion. It's not. It's you. Okay, your spirit inside yourself, your heart, uh, wanting to reach out and understand things. Why does God do this? Why, that kind of thing, and building a relationship with that other side, the source, the creator of everything. And then, when you get to the end, you're not, you don't feel like, you were ripped off. You go to a carnival and get only one ride, and then the ride's over, and you're like, wait a minute, I spent $5 on this ride. It only went around one time. You know, like what a jip. So if you go get into a religious aspect of spirituality, there's a dead end. There's nowhere to go after unless you want to go to you go to a different religion and you do that one and you go to a different one. So you have an understanding of what all these things have in common. And you know what all they have in common is getting into the boat with a paddle in the middle of an ocean and you have no idea where you're at. That's what they're trying to tell you in those books. Anyway, all right. So and then we get into spaceships, right? You can do a spaceship in the middle of outer space, and you're looking around, and you see a bunch of stars and planets and that kind of thing. And then maybe if you have a big enough telescope, you can see the black hole, right? And you're like, what the hell is that? Well, nobody knows what a black hole is. I don't care what scientists say. It's a big absence of something where they don't know what it is, but they know it exists. They just don't know what it is or what it consists of or how it works. I when I was younger, I used to think a black hole was like a just like a black star. Like in the center of our solar system, we have a star, right? A sun. And I just figured it was like the opposite of a star. Maybe it was a star that at one time, and then somehow it went like into a negative thing. I don't know. That doesn't make sense because negative things don't really, repel and attract at the same time. So if it was a black hole, it would be sucking in everything, and it wouldn't take, you know, a a, a quadrillion infinite time to get all these different planets and stars and galaxies and whatever else sucked into it. And where does the energy go once it, so it's an unknown, and I just I don't like talking about black holes because I'm 40 years old, and it reminds me of the brown hole. And oh yeah, I was talking to, I don't want to get wacky yet. I'll wait. Um, but yeah, I was listening to a guy, um, who had a rough life. I guess he grew up with a rough life, and he had kids. He'd been divorced a couple times, and he woke up in the morning. He was always angry. I gotta go to work. And then the traffic on the way to work. Oh, fucking traffic. And you get to work, you either be early or he'd be late. And if he was early, he was pissed. If he was late, he was pissed. If he's on time, he was pissed because everybody else was late. You know, so it's just like every day, all day long, every day. And then and I think he said the only thing that didn't make him angry was just spending time with his kids. Unless they were, you know, messing up, then he'd get angry at them. But he wouldn't get as angry with them as he would with himself. And he didn't know what the hell was wrong with him. And he would get mad about that. Like he did, why am I always fucking angry? He didn't know, and that would make him angry. And then eventually, you know, he just had enough. And it was either hang it up or figure out how to fix it. Figure out the underlying cause. And I don't remember what the outcome. I mean, the outcome of it was something he opened up or something like that. But he fixed himself somehow. And the only way I could think about it, and I know there's lots of people similar to this, or maybe not so similar. They know how to be happy too, but not always angry, but they always see themselves angry. That's when they notice about themselves the most. And how would I mean if I was? I think I've been that way, but once I learned how to forgive myself for all the stuff I've ever done to myself or to anyone else, you know, and just I went outside and I just screamed, you know, and let all that shit out of my heart, all that guilt and all that anger and all that frustration and all that hurt and pain. Just let it out and scream like, and then I came, I went, to a place, maybe, I don't remember where, yeah, it was my mom's house when I was living with her. Um, and I went to my room and I ended up just quiet, turned TV off, turned my phone off, just sat there and thought, just, I don't know, talk to my head, what, I feel good. What's now? What's next? And okay, I forgive myself, and uh, I need to learn how to start loving myself. I thought, well, maybe I'll quit smoking. I'll quit drinking beer, and you know, I'll just start eating healthier. And I tried that, and it started making me miserable again. I was angry. Like, God, I wanted, and I wasn't just angry, with other people because they get on my nerves, quicker, because I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. I didn't enjoy being that way with myself. And so, what, maybe I just won't overindulge on things, and, moderation. And I think that's what started my spiritual journey. I mean, I already was on a spiritual journey. I just didn't know. I was in a boat with a spoon with as a paddle, and they're like, okay, I got a spoon. Um, but I figure, forgive yourself, and forgive others. That was a hard one. Just letting everything go. Forgive everything. Anybody's ever done. Even the guy who put a bullet in my head. I forgive that asshole. Um, because it's not really in my power not to forgive him. I figured if I can forgive someone who put a bullet in my head and made me blind for the rest of my life, I think I can forgive anyone. And I didn't do it for him. I did it for myself. So I could just let it go. And the hurt and the pain and all that suffering and miserable crap, I didn't want to live like that for the rest of my life. So I got a cigarette and a beer, and I just started enjoying stuff. I go do things. I get out and explore. And I fell into some things, where I was able to inspire, and and I could tell people, hey, I got it worse than you. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for what you don't have, because somebody has it worse, right? And if I could do it, if I can enjoy life, then what the hell are you complaining about? you know. And so that's why I started doing these positive things, because there's so many people in the world that just getting their butts kicked by the world because they let the world kick their butts. And if the world's not, and then if the world's not kicking your butt, then you start kicking your own butt, and you're like, what the hell am I doing like this? This is not, I'm not enjoying this. This isn't nice. I don't like this. And you know what? I'm gonna take my foot off my own ass, and I'm gonna put it back on the ground. And yeah, I was talking to my nephew yesterday. I don't know where the hell this advice came from, but I told him, I said, you can look down at your shoes, and you can see where you've been, all the dust and the rocks and stuff and all whatever on the dirt on your shoes, you know. I said, or you can look at your heart and let it tell you where you're going. And he's like, damn, Uncle Joey, that's deep. Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but it sounded good. And anyways, so that's all that for now, and then I'll go into some wacky if you want to stick around for that. Let's see. Yeah. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, I think that's it on that one. But I'm going to go into this wacky. So, um, I thought this was funny, and if you don't think it's funny, I don't care. I don't care if you don't think this is funny. So yeah, I was talking about black holes, and then I went to the yeah. Uh, there's there's a doctor, and they want when you're 40 years old, you got to go see if you're a male, you have to go see a proctologist. I think that's why a lot of people are trying to do the transgender thing because they don't want to go see their proctologist. That makes a lot of sense. If I could cut off my genitalia and start wearing pretty dresses, I don't think I'd have to go see a proctologist ever. So I think that's what's going on. That's the deep line of why people are turning transgender. Um, all right. So proctology, that's where when you get certain age, they stick their fingers in your no-no place, and I'm not looking forward to that. I don't think I want to do it. And if I have cancer or something in that area, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. And hopefully my body's super cool enough to like not let that happen. I don't want to have to get gangster on stuff and be like, yo, yo, down there, better stop messing around. Don't make me come down there. Yeah, don't make me tell you again. All right. I had a joke, but I don't think it would be appropriate. I think that was pretty much as far as I could go with this without getting gross, so or inappropriate. And I don't. I know this isn't. I don't think I have this set up for kids, but I don't remember if Streamyard does that or not. So, but I don't know. Streamyard. I'm still trying to get used to this thing. So, all right. That's it for weekly positive message. I have one more thing to add. A friend of mine, Mike Emerson from Polygraphics, I asked him if he wouldn't mind doing an interview sometime this week at the Land Spot. It's not going to be about video games completely, but it'll be about, you'll see. It'll be interesting, I think, because not many people realize what graphics designers do. I didn't know. I mean, I knew the final outcome of what they do, but I didn't know the interesting process. And he explained to me, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I'm like, maybe this would be something you and I could talk about on my YouTube channel where people can, get educated on actually what goes in, and it might interest, sighted people or maybe non-sighted people. There's some accessibilities to graphics design. So if you have a mental vision, you can create stuff. Even graphics. Wow, I didn't know that. I might have to give it a try. So, all right, ta ta for now, and I hope that was entertaining and not too bland. So until next Saturday or next Sunday, we'll keep your hearts looking forward and your mind on forgiveness. All right. God bless, namaste, and whatever else. Bye. What? What the hell? Are you kidding me?